Good morning, I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein, and I have recipes to get you out of your daily grind. They're recipes that feature ground meat. So join me today for some ground-breaking recipes today on SoFlo Taste. How fun is that? Good morning, Taste Buds. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein here in the Goya Kitchen in the Culinary Lab at Florida Education Institute in Coral Gables. Welcome to SoFlo Taste. Now look, with the exception of vegetarians, we all like a good cut of meat. But have you ever thought of that same piece of meat ground up in a recipe? Well, I have, and I've got recipes to prove it. Let's get cooking. The first thing I'm gonna make is chopped steak. A chopped steak is basically when you grind sirloin or some type of beef and you cook it as if it was a steak. This ground beef comes from Milam's Markets. I prefer about a 90-10, which means 90% leaner beef to 10% of the fat. So we've got some chopped parsley, some minced shallot, Dijon mustard, an egg. I'm gonna go ahead and season heavily with the salt and start mixing this together. So now that everything is mixed up, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of breadcrumb at a time. I don't want it to be too much bread, but the bread definitely lights it up and turns it a little more kind of spongy. We'll add just a touch more. So let's keep mixing until this is all kind of uniform. And there you have it. Let's go ahead and shape it now. I don't like to do very traditional things. So let's say we turned it into a nice little pretty oval shape, like so. Let's do 2 of them. Obviously, I would weigh them at home or at a restaurant to make sure that everything is kind of even. Now with you, I think it's okay if I'm just kind of eyeing it a little bit. We definitely want to make the same shape in both. All right. Then I'm gonna go ahead and treat it like a steak. So I'm actually gonna cross hatch it with a knife, like so. Let's go ahead and heat up just a tiny bit of oil and a little bit of butter in a pan. I'm gonna go ahead and season the outside as well with a little more salt, black pepper, and I'm making a gravy with, again, oil and a little touch of butter. I'm cooking onions and mushrooms, and they're almost done cooking, and we'll jump into that in a second. Let's go ahead and start cooking our steaks, sirloin steaks, so chopped steaks. So ground beef turned into a steak. Go ahead and sear it on the pretty side, down. And we'll let that go for a couple minutes. I'm gonna add just a touch more butter right there. All right. Let's go ahead and season it while we have it on the other side. Salt and pepper. So again, making a gravy. So I'm just gonna add a little touch of butter here so that I can make a little bit of a roux with some flour, a little bit of red wine. Let's let that reduce down. Pick up any bits from the bottom of the pan with your spatula or wooden spoon, and you'll see it all starting to come together because of the flour. Now you can cook your chopped sirloin or chopped steak according to your favorite temperature. I like my burgers and my steaks and my chopped steak at about a medium rare, almost medium. I still like it a little bloody, but that's my own thing. This has come together. Let's add some beef broth and let that just kind of heat up. This shouldn't take very long at all. I'm gonna add a little bit of chopped thyme, chopped parsley, and it needs a little bit of salt and pepper. Let's see if we can flip over these steaks. I know I keep calling it a steak. I know it's more of a burger, but I'm treating it like a steak. Really good caramelization from the cast iron, which is awesome. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish the cooking process in the gravy, which is gonna make it beautifully juicy. So I've got a sear on the underside as well. I'm gonna go ahead and place it into the gravy. And you all, please come right back to SoFlo Taste for more from the Goya Kitchen here at the Culinary Lab at Florida Education Institute in Coral Gables. But first, can you see yourself working in the culinary world? Well, graduate from any of the FBI's culinary arts programs and begin an exciting career. New classes begin next month. For more information, visit fei.edu/culinary-arts or call the admissions department at 305-444-1515. Come right back and meet my special guest.
Come back to the Goya Kitchen at the Culinary Lab at Florida Education Institute. Chef Michelle and the food. This is SoFlo Taste.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste, where I'm meeting you on common ground. Ground chicken, ground pork, of course, and ground beef. And I'm very excited to show it to you. Here we go. Chopped steak, which is basically chopped sirloin, a lovely kind of retro dish that I adore with mushroom gravy. It turned out pretty good. Okay, here's a woman who knows a thing or two about meats and produce and everything else in a market. Christy Milam. Hi.
Hi, Chef. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you again. So Christy is the CMO and Director of Real Estate, right?
Right.
At Milam's Markets. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm excited to see what we're going to get ourselves into today.
So what you been doing lately? How are the stores? How are things?
Things are great. We have 6 stores in South Florida, as you know.
I do.
And we are here to serve, so we always look forward to seeing you and customers and seeing how we can help out. And
Thank you.
And you can always order online and we'll deliver.
I know. We love that. All right, so have you ever made a Japanese meatball?
I have not.
Okay, so this is a delicious recipe that the kids go crazy over because, you know, the kids love the Asian ingredients. So we're gonna do 2 things. We're gonna make the sauce and then we're gonna jump right into the actual meatball. I'm gonna add some soy sauce, a little sake, which the alcohol obviously burns off after, you know, as it cooks. A little bit of sherry vinegar. Next, we've got brown sugar, some scallions, a little bit of garlic that I smashed, and some ginger, and finally some black peppercorns.
Your definition of a little garlic is a lot, but it's
Is that really?
delicious.
It's only 3
It's
cloves.
so good.
It's 3 cloves
I like
of garlic.
it.
Is
I
that a
like
lot?
it.
Do you want to be the one adding ingredients, or you want to be the one mixing?
You'll be the mixer. I'll add the ingredients.
Okay, so let's go little by little.
This is like a test now.
Oh, let's see if you know what these are. Okay, this you know.
Green onion.
Okay, I call them scallions. Go for it.
Scallions.
No, same thing, same thing. All right, very good. Next.
This looks like mashed white bread.
Bread. It is.
Panko breadcrumbs.
Good job.
This is,
Smell
I know
it.
what this
Smell
is.
it, smell it.
Ginger.
Yes. So what we do to make ginger easier on people, after you peel it, you take it on a microplane. And then
Okay.
it comes up really fine because, you know, it's a pain to cut ginger. Go for it. And so to get it really fine, that's what we do in restaurants. Okay, next. You know what that is. Smell that.
Horseradish.
Garlic.
Garlic. More
Yes.
garlic.
Next.
Egg.
Yep. Go for it. Good job.
This is sea salt.
No, it's just kosher salt. Sorry.
Just dump that in there.
Yes. Perfect. Okay, that you'll smell and you'll know
Honey.
exactly. Smell it.
I know what this is, but I can't
You
think
do.
of the names. Give me the starting letter. Sesame oil.
Good job. Okay.
Last but not least, this looks.
Oof, this is a tough one. Don't smell it too close.
This is pepper.
This is white pepper.
White pepper.
Yeah, good. So in a lot of these recipes, if you're using lighter colored ingredients, and especially in the Japanese recipes, you will find white peppercorn crushed.
Okay.
So it'll be white pepper. All right, so this is it. This is a recipe for a Japanese style meatball, which, as you can see, it's really different, but some things are the same. So you have a binder, the egg, right? You have something to fluff it up, which is the breadcrumb, in this case, the Japanese panko breadcrumb. And then the flavoring's just different, right? We're not gonna add any cheese to it or anything like that, but I think it's kind of cool that it's all basically made the same way. So these are already the meatballs over here that I've already shaped. Normally you'd go on a special charcoal grill for the Japanese meatball, but here, because we're in, you know, a different location and we don't have one of those incredible grills, we're gonna go ahead and heat up a grill pan. And this sauce, which has been reducing, is actually going to brush on the meatballs. So what do we have at Milam's coming up?
Well, with Memorial Day, you know we're all going to be outside grilling. You got to get yourself a good steak, hang out with the family.
Every time my family gets together, even if it's happy, sad, or in the middle, we grill. Probably because we're Argentines, but also because it's easy. You take it all outside and you don't have to clean too much. All right, so this is reducing. I'm going to start grilling. So I'm placing these meatballs on a grill pan. If you're using a grill pan or a grill, make sure that you grease your grates. So throw some spray on there if you're outside. Be careful because you know it flames up. So just make sure that everything is really well coated in something non-stick, because if not, we're gonna make a little bit of a mess of ourselves right now. So I'm gonna grill this, and my friend Christy is gonna baste them with a little bit of our sauce, and we will see you in just a couple minutes. Yeah?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. SoFlo Taste will return right after this.
It's a Milam's Markets Minute. Here's Melinda Harper.
So we all know that Milam's has a wonderful wine selection, the winery, but you guys have got great beer selection too. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we have a big selection of course, American beers, international beers from Germany, but our bread and butter are really our local beers from a lot of breweries in South Florida. And this big trend of non-alcoholic beer, we have a huge selection of zero alcohol, non-alcoholic beer. So if you're pregnant or just not into drinking, it's a good way to get the flavor of beer without actually drinking alcohol.
Show me some of your non-alcoholic selection.
So we have Stella. There's also these craft beers from Athletic Brewing, and then a mango one, which is very cool, which I would love to try.
Good. And you know what is so nice about non-alcoholic beer is beer does have a flavor. And if you love that flavor of beer and you can get the authentic taste from a Stella or the Heineken, I mean, it's a wonderful alternative. So if you're looking to buy some non-alcoholic beer, some regular beer, or maybe a seltzer, head out to a Milam's near you. And if you can't get to a Milam's, you can still buy your beer and wine online?
Online and get it delivered to your door.
Come check it out.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. I am here with Christy Milam, who is showing off these beautiful Japanese meatballs. Chicken balls?
They look and smell delicious.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, have you ever heard of Larb?
Not until just now.
Okay. Larb is basically ground pork, but it's made kind of like a salad. So you make lettuce cups with it. It's minty, it's fresh. It's got Nuoc, which is one of my favorite things. Have you ever had Nuoc?
I don't even
Or
know.
Nuoc Cham?
No.
Well, you guys actually sell this separated.
Pre-made or no?
No. So this is fish sauce, fermented fish sauce, combined with lime juice, chilies, sometimes people put garlic in it, sugar, sometimes palm sugar, and a little bit of water. But it has a very distinct flavor, and it makes everything taste better. Some people get a little freaked out because it smells a little strong of the fish, but once you taste it, you're in for good.
Oh,
it's amazing. Yeah, so I'm excited for you to try it. So let's just jump in and make this, and then I'm going to ask you to actually help me put everything pretty on the plate.
Okay.
So this is our platter, and this is going to be for the meat, the actual pork. And then the rest of the plate, like maybe this side, if you want to make it pretty with lettuces, so we're going to have, everybody's going to make their own lettuce cup. So lettuces, you can pick some mint and cilantro on there. You can put some cucumbers. Maybe we'll put the chilies on one side so people can make it spicier if they want to. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to jump into cooking the pork. So a little bit of oil. And here is beautiful ground pork from your store. Thank you very much. And you see how beautiful it is? I mean, this is really some gorgeous ground pork. So pretty.
Is there a certain oil that you recommend for cooking with pork?
So for cooking, pretty much, I cook different things in different oils, and it's such a great question that you're asking. So when I cook ground meats or porks or ground chicken, things like that, I usually like something that doesn't have a huge amount of flavor, because I'm usually adding so much borrowed flavor from so many things like today. So for this, I would normally use something like I love grapeseed oil, because grapeseed oil, you can go to really high heat, doesn't impart any flavor, doesn't burn, doesn't denature the oil when you go up to really high temperatures. I love cooking in avocado oil as well.
Okay.
Those are my favorites. I also cook a lot of things in olive oil, but this wouldn't be one of them because I don't want to impart the olive oil flavor to this, especially in a dish that has Asian flavors to it. So speaking of flavor, I'm going to add some ground ginger. I call it ground, but we actually take it on a microplane fresh, peeled, and that's going to go in here. These are shallots that have been julienned, and they're going to go in here as well. And then luckily, after you make your Nuoc Cham, which is equal parts of that fish sauce, lime juice, sugar that I was telling you about, then that's done. As you see, I have some floating serranos in it to give it more power, more flavor.
Yum.
Larb, I always called it Larb because it's spelled L-A-R-B, but it's pronounced Larb. They always put some ground rice over the top for texture.
Okay.
You know, rice is really important in Asia. So this is short grain rice, what they would use, but you grind it in a spice grinder or in a blender, and it turns into a powder. And if you just put this on your mouth and you feel it on your teeth, it has like a really interesting texture, and that gets sprinkled over the top.
Interesting.
Yeah. For me, the shallot is really important. It kind of imparts a little bit of sweetness. So what do you cook for your daughter? I know she's little.
I know we've been talking a lot about rice, but I make a lot of rice balls, eggs, steamed vegetables.
Okay, well,
nothing
that's great.
Extraordinary, but
No, but listen, she's little. You can't, give her too much right now, right?
it's true.
She can only
Food
handle so
introduction.
much. Yeah. I was always told when my son was first born not to give him any of the sweeter vegetables at first, so that his palate would be more savory.
I've heard that too.
Have you?
And some people say wait till they're 3 to introduce anything sweet, but
So I
hard.
know it's mean, but my son actually didn't taste sugar until he was about 3.
But that's good. I'm going to try to do that.
It was hard to do because I always wanted to treat him, but I made sure like the sweetest thing he ever had was my apple purees and my apricot purees and all of the fruits. And that I did later. I didn't give him peas until he was like at least 2 because they're sweet. Wow. I know. But I cook a lot. And I was just so dedicated to cooking everything for him and shaping his palate. He actually has a very savory palate.
I can
Probably because
imagine.
he's my son, but
But does he crave sweets?
No, he craves salty.
That's great.
I mean, he eats sweets,
It worked then.
He's a middle
Your
schooler.
tactic
He likes
worked.
it. I don't know. I don't know if it works or if it's just because I love savory and we cook a lot of savory at the house. I'm not sure.
Okay, chef,
whatever it is.
I'm not a food stylist, so am I
beautiful
plucking
this
these?
is. You can
or-
pick them, but you don't have to pick them all the way. So this part is still really edible, the soft stem. So use some of that.
Okay.
All right.
thank you.
All right. So I'm going to add the Nuoc Cham to this, not all of it, because I want some of it still for dipping. And we're going to finish cooking the pork, which is almost completely done. You see how fast this was, though? I mean, this is a really, really easy dish. And what's great about Nuoc Cham is it can stay in your fridge for weeks.
Oh,
I
delicious.
make it and I keep it for a really long time, and I use it, for salads and different things. It's wonderful on seafood dishes.
Would you use it replacing soy sauce with recipes?
You definitely don't need soy if you use this.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. You have to be a little careful with the Nuoc Nam, the bottled fish sauce, because it's fermented. It's really really salty, which is why you do the sugar and the lime with it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's so good. I hope you like it. All right, so this is done. This is cooked through. So I'm just going to pour this into a bowl. All right, then I'm going to top it with the rice, and all of you will come back to taste our yummy food. I can't wait, and I can't wait for you to try it for the
I
first
can't wait
time. I
either.
hope you
I'm
like it.
salivating.
Christy Milam is the best. Milams, we love you guys so much.
Thank you very much for the support.
No, thank you for your support. We love working with you, and I love shopping with you. I've been doing it since you all opened
Oh,
years
amazing.
ago. And I love your family. Send them my love.
Will do. Thank
Please.
you.
And thanks for being here with us
Of
today.
course.
Okay.
I've learned so much.
Thank you.
I always do.
Come back anytime. We love
Thank
having you
you.
here.
Thank
We
you.
really do. Thank you. All right, everybody, come right back to SoFlo Taste here on the one and only Local 10. Stay tuned to SoFlo Taste. We'll be right back. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. I do miss Christy, but this was a great show. I loved being able to show you what to do with all these ground meats. So this is the larb, and she really loved it. So it's so exciting. What you do is you take the lettuce leaves, and I love that there's pieces of cilantro and mint around, and then you fill it with this delicious ground pork. It's very juicy, so watch out. And again, it has, remember that ground rice for texture? Now that's a little extra. You don't have to do that part. But this is just so good. And if you want a little extra Nuoc Cham, it's always here. I don't know, did I give you some new ideas with what to do with ground meats? Well, I hope so. These recipes are really easy and, more importantly, really tasty. So please try them. I want to thank Christy Milam for her pop-in. She's so great. And Taste Buds, thank you for spending time with me. And I'll see you here next time. Or rather, you'll see me next time. Goodbye, mwah, and good taste. I'm common ground.